sounds weird to say it because if you asked me this question a month ago and I gave you this answer, you'd probably look at me like I had three heads. But I think the man's going to be Tobias Harris. He's been fantastic in the playoffs. He played his defense has been excellent over these first 7 games, and again offensively he was the star of game 1 if you want to call anybody a star.
Right.
He was the best offensive player on the court for the Sixers in game 1. Tobias is that X factor. Like he's going to be the guy. I think we know what we're going to get with James Harden, and I'm sure we'll talk about him in a second. And Tyrese Maxey's 21 years old, so he's going to have his good games and he's going to have his bad games. I think the X factor is going to be Tobias Harris, and if Tobias can give you those game 1 types of performances going forward, maybe the Sixers can steal a couple games before, or like a game, let's say, before Joel comes back. I understand, again, the hesitation with Paul Reed because, again, when you saw when he got in the game in game 1, like the man's a foul magnet. Like he's going to, attract fouls like, flies are, attracted to the light in the summer. But that said, you saw how terrible DeAndre Jordan was at the start of game 1. And I think we all kind of felt that DeAndre Jordan was going to be that bad because, again, him, trying to defend Bam Adebayo, just a bad matchup, off the rip. But when you just saw how bad it was in the first 5 minutes, I think he was a -12 in those first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And Doc, for whatever reason, went back to him later, and then in the post-game press conference, got upset that people, thought, throughout the fact that, DeAndre Jordan was so bad, maybe you want to switch this out. He got upset at the fact that people said, hey, maybe Paul Reed's a better option. And I guess he wanted to pass the blame on the players, saying the players wanted DeAndre Jordan over Paul Reed. Why would you want a player who was so inefficient on defense you had to pull him out in 4 minutes? I just don't understand it.
See, but here's my take on that. I think what went down was he had that conversation with James Harden, maybe Tobias Harris, and they're probably like, all right, we've got to get the veteran. Let's give the veteran a chance. And that I almost understand. Like, okay. I understand that. But at halftime, you mean to tell me those players were still banging that drum for DeAndre Jordan to get out there? Are you kidding me? There's no way.
DeAndre Jordan, again, he was, I think it was a -12 in the first half. Paul Reed came in and he went small, with Niang and those guys, and you had the lead at halftime. Clearly, everything you did in the non-DeAndre Jordan minutes in the first half worked. And then you went away from it immediately at the start of the second half. You went down, I think 5, immediately before you got him out. And then from there, it was just, like you were just kind of dug yourself too big of a hole. I just don't, I understand, if you want to placate your veterans a little bit, understand, I get that a little bit. If it's not working, it's not working. Right. And if you're not going to coach this team and do what you think is right, then just let Tobias and James Harden coach. Just let them coach if you're going to let them, call the shots.